Let me start with the first part of preparation to be acquired. And as I mentioned earlier, I say to all of my members and my clients, the best time to begin working on your exit strategy is when you start your business. But if you haven't done it, the next best day is is today. And so if there's an owner who's saying, okay, I've got a 5-year target window that I'd like to have my company positioned ready to exit in 5 years, what do I need to do? Well, as we have studied the industry and talked with the mergers and acquisitions advisors and talked to some of our members who have done acquisitions, and as I've talked to some of our members who have sold their businesses, there are really 7 specific factors that affect the valuation of a home care company. Number 1 is size. So the bigger the company, the more value it brings, particularly in the eyes of the private equity folks or the big consolidators. The second factor is momentum. Is your company growing, and has it been growing over 3 to 5 years? Both the top line revenue and the bottom line net income, or what the industry refers to as EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. And the value of a company is typically a multiple of adjusted EBITDA. And so the bigger the company, the more momentum growing, the increase in value. Revenue diversification. Buyers are looking for companies that don't have all of their eggs in one basket. And so having multiple streams of revenue adds value. And then the next 2 are important. Having systems for client acquisition and systems for caregiver acquisition and retention that do not depend on the previous owner. As you know, Todd, from the benchmarking study that you all been doing now for, was this the 11th or 12th year? As we looked at the median size company in this industry, this past year was $1.9 million in revenue. So half the companies are smaller than that, and half the companies are bigger than that. And so for many companies at the median in the industry, the company is heavily dependent on the owner for sales and marketing and for caregiver recruiting and retention. And so to prepare your business for acquisition, you need to have systems in place that don't depend on you to be there to do that. And the less the company is dependent on the owner, the more value the company has. The 6th element of value is office team disruption. That is, do you have an office team in place that will stay and work with the buyer to continue the business going forward? Or is it a case where the current office team could be heavily disrupted when the owner sells the business and leaves? Maybe there are multiple family members, maybe there are other kinds of issues. And then the last value affecting factor is threats to profitability. And this is sort of a big, wide open category that could cover a lot of things, but it could be disruption in the local marketplace. It could be major competition. And one of the questions we've been asking as a result of these mergers and acquisitions is, what impact is that having on the local marketplace? What does that do to you if your major competitor is a home instead franchise and they've just been acquired? What does that mean? How's that going to affect that operation? Or what does it mean if one of your competitors was recently acquired by Home Care Assistance and now they have the resources of that company? So those are all the kinds of things that could be threats to profitability that a potential buyer is going to take into account. So those are the kinds of things that we're looking at and working with our members to help them prepare for.